Hey, puppy, what you doing? Hey, 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 hey. So, today, good dodge of that tree. We're going to be spraying some weeds in the old Kikuyu because I've got some sneaky dogs popping up. Not that sneaky dog. So, let's get straight into it. Let's spray it. Get rid of these suckers. Yo mate, what up? Welcome to another lawn tip vid. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a weed control video for you guys today so you can see what I'm going to use on the Kikuyu to get any weeds if they do sneak up, which happens sometimes even when you got pre-emergence and stuff like that. You still get a couple of weeds sneak through every now and then, but it's not really that bad. So let's just show you guys what we've got and what we're going to use to deal with it. So first thing we can see here is some clover. So pretty common weed, a lot of people know about clover. Let me just get this out of here. Don't leave it in. So that's some clover there. So this is some white leaf clover, or white flower clover, sorry, not white leaf. Snitty, you having a good lick there, buddy? Hey? On the clover, there you go, eat it. Do it. Yeah. There you go, that's a good one way to get rid of them. So that is some clover there. It's got a little white flower on it. I don't tend to see it flower though, because I mow it too often to see the flower pop up. But that is some clover there. Which generally you can tell it's clover by the way the leaf looks there. So they've mostly got 3 little leaves on them, as you can see just here. Hopefully that's in focus. A little bit of fur on them. That's about it, and you can normally tell them by the white flower. Some of them will have a white flower, as I said. Now other weeds we have got some mallow in here as well. Snitty all over it, mate. Oh no, I dropped it. So that's some mallow there. Pretty easy weeds to get rid of, to be honest, these weeds. Like, they're not too big of a dealio. Now we do have a little bit of, not really much else. You guys have seen the paspalum that I've got in here. Let's see if we can find anything else just for the fun of it. Here we go, paspalum. This is paspalum seedhead, or Dallas grass, you call it in the States. Now that there, not really many selectives in Kikuyu to get rid of it. Now, what I would do if I had this stuff here is I would recommend that you're right there, mate? You're right? I recommend that you get on a pre-emergent program. So, grab yourself some barricade or something similar that's going to prevent this stuff from coming up in general. So, what you do is put down a pre-emergent in the springtime. Generally, if you're in like Queensland or something, put it down August. If you're in a bit of a cooler climate, you can get away with putting it in September, but make sure you do it at the start of the season before this stuff germinates and goes absolutely crazy. Are you okay? Are you all right? Are you okay? Which reminds me, if you haven't already, get some pre-emergent down now, something like some barricade to stop your poa annua, which is your winter grass, coming up over the winter time, unless you're oversetting. If you're oversetting with some ryegrass, don't put pre-emergent down because your ryegrass won't come up, or you'll knock it really, really hard. But what I'm going to do to get rid of this is just paint it with Roundup. Now, I'm not going to really worry about it now because this is actually going to die out in the next, I'd say in the next 2 or 3 weeks. When we start getting a lot cooler temps, that's generally what happens. It has like an annual life cycle. So it comes up in the spring, dies off in the autumn, winter time, and then it comes up again with the seeds that it drops throughout the summer. Those seeds just there. So that's why we put down a pre-emergent, and it breaks the life cycle of our paspalum, which, believe it or not, these seeds can sit in the soil for up to 7 years. Are you okay, bro? By the way, I'm really happy with how the Kikuyu is going that I'm actually looking after compared to this stuff just here. Really is starting to look nice and tight and tidy. Like, it's getting some good colour to it, getting really, really lush. That liquid fert mix is doing wonders for it. Ooh, even a bit of chlorophyll there. Lawn is looking great. Really stoked with it actually, leading into winter. It's gonna go dormant. But it looks good, looks really, really good. And that seed head isn't quite as present now because we've slowed down the growth with that plant growth regulator, and I'm mowing enough to keep up with it. Okay, so to get rid of the clover and the mallow that we've got there, we're gonna use this product here called Turf Control. So you can grab this on my website. This is a little 500ml bottle. We do have a 1 litre bottle as well of this stuff. And if you guys are going to use this product, make sure you read the label as always. So we're going to apply this today at 50 ml per 100 square meters as the recommended rate says on the label. But let's just double check that. Yep, 50 ml in 2 to 5 liters of water per 100 square meters. And the weeds that it's going to control is white clover. Oh, so it's called white clover, not white flowered clover. I was right the first time. Plantain, capeweed, cat's ear, cudweed, creeping oxalis, and some other weeds as well will knock with it. Doesn't list them all on there. But yeah, make sure you don't put this down if you've got rain expected in the next 4 hours. I like to leave it for 24 hours if you can, but you're gonna be fine if it's 4 hours with this stuff. Make sure you wear proper PPE. So we're gonna wear our glasses today, long pants, long sleeve shirt. We're gonna put on some gloves, because that's just the smart thing to do. So we're gonna need to put out 100 ml on this whole area because it's only 200 square meters. And then we're gonna put in 8 liters of water on top of that as well. Plus we're gonna use a sticker as well, wet out just here. Just gonna put a little bit in there as well on top of that to help it stick to the leaf of those weeds. And that's about it. So let's spray it. And we should start to see this curl up by tomorrow, which I'll try and get the camera out and show you guys are starting to curl up within 24 hours after we've applied this product. Let's mix it up and spray it. Alright, so that is all sprayed. So I ended up going over 3 times again. I still got to calibrate that spray. 3 times is pretty much perfect though, so not a bad thing if I walk over an extra time to get really, really even coverage. So give it a couple of days and those weeds will really start to be knocked. Little tip for you guys, if it's cooler, it will take longer for your weeds to die. If it's hotter, they'll die quicker as well. Now don't apply this sort of stuff during the middle of the day in the middle of summer when it's really, really hot, because you will potentially burn your lawn. Apply it early in the morning or later in the afternoon, or if you've got temps under 25 degrees, you're gonna be fine during the day. You just gotta be aware that, you know, it can do damage if it's really, really hot and your lawn is stressed out and you're applying it. Only other thing is, I was gonna say, oh yeah, turf control, it's fine for all grass types as well. So your buffalo, your kikuyu, your zoysia, your cooch, and everything else, it's going to be safe for them as well. So fine on buffalo, which is a question I get a lot when I put down herbicides, so give me fine with that. But man, this lawn is looking lush, bro. How good is the color of that lawn at the moment? Like, it is ridiculous. You can see the difference from there, and then you come across to that, how dark it is. Primo does just give it a bit of a different look, honestly. Just makes it look that little bit more pure. I really want to get this a lot more level though, this lawn, because there's lots of humpty dumps and bumps all over the place, especially through this area just here. So when we do a reno next season, I'm gonna go really, really hard on it. Probably even get the skid steer in here and a level bar or something and properly level it, just to get rid of these really, really deep. You can't see it on camera, man. There's no way you can see it on camera. You never can with this sort of stuff. There's big dips just there, which the cylinder mower sort of just goes, just drops in there. But it doesn't look too bad at the moment. But the lower you get, the more that you really do start to notice it. So it needs a good level out. Next season, that Roundup patch should pop back in and be fine. It's already looking a lot better than it did, but I don't think it's going to repair before the end of the season, let's be honest. She's looking a bit sick, man. Seen better days. Live and you learn with that one. That was just a bit of a silly mistake. Lawn, really happy with it, considering we're coming into the end of the season. Color's good, it looks really, really nice. You can even see a defined line between what I'm maintaining more often and not. That's just the difference you can see there. Yeah, I mean, that section there got a little bit scalped. I've been regularly mowing that again now, but it's just, maybe I should put Primo back on this area here because it's just growing bananas. Like, it's just going nuts. Kikuyu's loving it. Eventually I want to, once I get some irrigation in, I want to get this whole area here looking pristine, get some nice shrubs and stuff in there, some nice color, make this area look really, really nice, like a sort of a feature sort of area out the front. tidy it up a bit once we get the irrigation in. That's gonna be the plan. Speaking of irrigation, let's go chat about what's going on over the next little bit and why I haven't started the part 3, because I keep getting the question and I've answered it a few times, but let's answer it again. Actually, just quickly before we go talk about the part 3 and what's going on with the bore pump and stuff like that, the reason, I was talking about oversowing this area with ryegrass. I really want to. The issue for me is we are running off rainwater. We're not running off town water, so we actually haven't had that much rain lately, and I don't have enough water to get this seed germinating and going, like the ryegrass seed on this patch here. So I haven't actually watered the quike since the middle of summer. I've just let Mother Nature take over, and it's going pretty well, as you can see. And we've had patches of rain. We haven't had that crazy rain like everyone else seems to have had. So our tanks are actually getting pretty low. So the back tank, which comes into the house, went empty the other day. So I'm starting to use backups off the other tanks, which you wouldn't think would happen this year with all the rain that we're supposed to be having and have had throughout the winter and stuff like that. So that is the reason why I have not overseeded this with ryegrass, and I'm probably not going to unless the bore pump and all the water gets sorted out in time for me to be able to do that and irrigate this area. Even if I set up manual sprinklers, but at least I'd have a water source, you know what I mean? But that's the reason I haven't done it. A little bit bummed about it that I can't, but we'll see. It is a little bit warmer here and we don't really get frost, so I could just do a little bit later and do a little trial run and see what happens once this pump is up and running, which let's go talk about. So walking down here, I just realized this whole area here was a big hole that I filled in with sand. Look how much this patch of cooch here has taken over in like 3 months. I think I've done nothing with that. Bro, common cooch is just aggressive stuff, I tell you what. That is just crazy. That was the patch there. I mean, there's some of that mallow weed there again. That's a bigger version of it, as you can see. And lots of paspalum. There's some good examples of some of these weeds for you here. That's paspalum when it's not mowed all the time, only mowed like once every 2 weeks. And that's the seed head just there, as you can see. Blah, disgusting stuff. Lots and lots of weeds around here. Got a bit of plantain. I could show you a whole diary of weeds in this area just here. It's just ridiculous. But par 3 paddock, which is going to be just here, I've talked to you guys about in the past. Now, this is something I wanted to get done, in all honesty. I want to get this started by this season. I wanted to be doing a green, putting tees in, fairways, digging stuff out, constructing stuff. And it just, unfortunately, hasn't rolled out the way I want it to, and a little bit bummed about it, but I've got the rest of my life here, so I'll be okay. It's just the way it is. But the reason we haven't done it is because of the bore pump. So I've just been waiting on the bore pump. All has been finalised now, finally. Getting a bore pump from Davey, which they are sponsoring it. So that's kind of why I've been waiting so long. So shout out to them for that. And it is helpful that they're sponsoring it. I'm very appreciative. And they want to come and install it. So I'm just waiting for that. So that will be in the next 4 to 5 weeks. I've actually got my brother-in-law coming today. He just lives across the road. He's the guy that had the Kentucky bluegrass lawn and the ryegrass lawn that we seeded. I should show you guys an update of that. But he's going to come over and we're going to start marking out where we're going to run the electrical for this bore pump. So I might be digging trenches next week. We'll see how things go. But this is the par 3 paddock. This is kind of, the green's going to be over there, up on that side over there, and sort of L shape around and probably end up around here somewhere. So it's going to be a pretty big green. That's the dam there, which I want to dig out, and I've said I want to dig out a little bit more storage in there, because we've got that whole bottom half of the paddock, which I reckon we could use, just extend it out a bit. I dug some trees out yesterday, as you can see, had some poplars shooting. That one's actually pretty old, but these poplars here, they tend to shoot suckers out into other areas, and there was just a whole heap of them down that bottom area there. So I've just got a pile of those I pulled out with the skid steer yesterday. That skid steer, man, is seriously so fun. I love that thing. But yeah, that's really why it's all been held up, is because of course there's been delays with COVID as well and actually getting the pump in. It tends to be the issue with a lot of things at the moment. Lots and lots of delays, which is never fun, but mate, we're getting there. I'm starting to get onto mowing this paddock a little bit more often. Believe it or not, I actually mowed it with the 0 turn 2-3 days ago, and it did a really, really good job. I'll put some footage over top of me doing that. But yeah, I'm just keen to get stuck into it. I think winters there's going to be a lot of projects going on, a lot of irrigation going down. hopefully start digging out the subsurface for the green, putting a bit of drainage in. Perfect time of year to do it. You might even get the sand and stuff in there, or the subsurface. So if anyone knows a good place where I can get some good sand for a green and good subsurface, let me know. I'd love to know, because I sort of want something pretty decent if I'm going to do it. Maybe some properly specced sand for this green. If we can't get that, I'm not too worried. And the thing is, I'm still trying to decide, it's probably not a bad idea to get more of a mix of sand and soil, because I don't have all the water in the world, so I can't look after it exactly like a golf green. So putting a bit of soil in there as well will help retain just a little more moisture than we would on a sand putting surface. And the thing is, I haven't got 100, 200, 300 golfers coming on through a day with traffic and everything, so I don't need to get the water off it like you would on a golf course as well. So yeah, something I've got to think about and something I'll do, but I'm excited, man. This paddock, so many ideas going on for it, and I'm excited to start getting stuck into it. It was even just awesome to start mowing it again and pulling some trees out and starting to get some jobs done in this area just here. It's gonna happen, it's gonna happen soon. Well, thanks guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I'll keep the dog off here obviously until it dries out, which it pretty much has dried out now, but I'll wait another hour or something until I let the dog back outside. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from that. I'll show you guys an update of how the weed's looking next week. I won't worry about it tomorrow, because we won't have much curling up. Unless it's crazy, I might show you with the clip just here. If I didn't show a clip, it didn't happen. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You guys have a really good week.